What is up, ladies and gents? This is Holden D's Nuts. The D stands for Douchebag or Dorillius. Doesn't matter. Welcome to the Driving with a Douchebag podcast, episode 3. I'm listening back to my podcast. The podcast from last week for you. And I record these segments throughout the week. And I noticed two things. One, I tend to state what the day is like a vlog. And, you know, it's weird to do that in a podcast. So I'm going to stop doing that. Try to, at least. I'm going to stop doing that. And for every segment, I open up with, "What's up, guys? This is Holden Dorillius Nuts here." And I always forget to say nuts because it's Holden D's Nuts. It's a fucking play on words. If you didn't already know, it was a play on words. So I always open up with introducing myself every single segment. So, fucking every 4 to 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Every segment, I open up with, "Hey, what's up, guys? This is Holden D's Nuts here." I'm introducing myself in the middle of a fucking episode. If you're listening to this, you should already know who the fuck I am, because it says on the title, on the Facebook page, on the YouTubes, right? I said it at the beginning of my podcast, so unless you have a fucking 3-second memory, you're probably going to remember who I am. So, I'm also going to stop doing that. I might try, well, I tried it once, didn't really work, but I will try to record the podcast just like straight up, just in one take, just have one recording session. And it probably won't be one take, but one recording session. I'll probably try that eventually, but for now, this is the method that works for me. I think of something to say, and I say it into a microphone with shitty fucking quality. Well, it's better than my fucking webcam quality. Anyway, so welcome to the podcast, guys. We do a few things I want to get out of the way. We do have a new Facebook page, facebook.com/DWAD podcast. That's DWAD podcast, DWAD, Driving with a Douchebag, DWAD podcast. Facebook.com/DWAD podcast. And then, if you're listening to this on YouTube, I do finally have my Podbean page up and running. And hopefully, if everything goes right, this will be on the fucking Podbean page. It'll be uploaded directly to the Podbean page. But if you're listening to this on YouTube, my Podbean page is Holden D's Nuts. It'll be in the description. If you're on YouTube, holdendthesnuts.podbean.com. And he's not paying me for an endorsement. Not that I can personally fucking endorse anybody at this state. But if you are listening to this podcast and you have not heard of the Solomonster, go to his channel, go to his podcast site. I would definitely recommend his podding. His voice is a lot more soothing than mine. Is it Solomonster or fucking goddamn? I listen to his podcast all the time. Okay, yeah, Solomonster. Solo Monster, if you will, daddy. Solomonster.podbean.com. Solomonster Sounds Off. You can just Google Solomonster Sounds Off. It's a wrestling podcast, so if you're not into pro wrestling, that's fine. But if you are into pro wrestling and you've never heard of the Solomonster before, just go check his page out. I'm not associated with him by any means, but I like his podcast and I'm a fan. That's partially why I'm doing this podcast. It's partially him and partially Stone Cold Steve Austin. But the main inspiration is Bill Burr, really. Bill Burr's Monday morning podcast. He does it on Mondays and Thursdays. I just do mine weekly. I don't give a shit. This is for fun for me. So did I say the Facebook? I said the Facebook. The fucking Twitter. The fucking Twitters. Fucking my Twitter handle is at Holden_D_Znuts. It'll be in the description of both the Podbean and the YouTubes. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy the show.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game, and how you play it. All about control, and if you can take it. All about your debt, and if you can pay it. All about the pain, and who's gonna make it. I am the game, and you don't want to play me. I am control. No way you can change me. I am heavy debt. No way you can pay me. I am the pain, and I know you can't take me.
So, I'm trying to pay off my car. Trying to pay get my car payment set up, because I have yet to pay it, and today's the deadline before they tack on an extra $10. So, I don't have any money in my the main account that I use. So, I decided to do it with my card. My pay card that they gave me at the beginning of my job. But you need like a routing number and a checking account number in order to pay off, in order to set up the fucking payment, which is horseshit. I just want to give them my debit card number and fuck it. So I said, and I was at Sonic, and now I'm driving home, and I thought of a little tune. I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to do it when I get home. And then, I don't know what happened. It's this, I read something about this rhythm recognition thing that we have built in our heads. So I just started singing, fuck it. I'm gonna do it when I get home. And I hate country, but it sounds like kind of a country beat, doesn't it? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it when I get home. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it when I get home. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it when I get home. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it when I get home. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it when I with him. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it when I get a bucket. I'm gonna do it when I get fuck it. I need to remember that little thing next time. It's a nice little tune to hum when you're bored. Also, doing that made my fucking lack of a tooth hurt. When I was doing the clicking, the rapid change in pressure, the rapid change in air pressure in my mouth, it irritated my gum. So, not gonna do that for a while. Yeah, all right. So that got that taken care of. So I just paid off my the rent on my car, and it's not rent. It's I own the car, but I'm paying the bank for letting me borrow some money, eh? So everything's all right. There's this overwhelming feeling of joy once you pay a car payment or once you pay a bill, and you don't have to worry about that at least for another month. Anyone else get that? There's just this overwhelming feeling of joy. Like everything's gonna be alright. At least for the next month. You work hard, you bust your ass. Well, just enough to get by anyway. Just enough not to get fired. But you work hard, you bust your ass. Doesn't matter how many hours a day. You do it to pay your bills. And then you finally pay your bills. And you get to keep the thing you enjoy for another month. And you don't have to worry about that particular bill for another month. You know? It's a good feeling. And it's a feeling of pride, I think. But it's a good feeling. I just wanted to say that. But it got me thinking. Maybe that's what people mean by the value of hard work. You get a good feeling about yourself. You get a feeling of pride busting your ass. And I never felt that pride until now. Because I do have a car to pay off. I do have a phone bill to pay. And I have to eat, too. Which, I mostly eat noodles nowadays. And then Babers, which is what I call him. I know, I'm a faggot. And then Babers fucking treats me to some eats on a weekly to bi-weekly basis. So you get a free meal out of that. And then, I don't know, you know. I never felt that sense of pride in my work. I never felt that sense of pride in responsibility. I always looked at responsibility as not only an obstacle, but a nuisance. A necessary evil to life. And now I'm starting to see clearer that it's not a nuisance. It's just, it's something you do have to deal with, but also it doesn't have to be a nuisance if you don't want it to be. There's this feeling of joy that you feel once you get your car payment or once you pay the bills. And it's not, and sometimes it's stressful. Like, you worry about it until it comes, and then you do it, and you don't worry about it anymore. And the feeling of not worrying about it for a time, it's relaxing. God, is it relaxing. So I finally found a way to get my pay card hooked up to my loan account. And it worked. And everything is just swell right now. Granted, I'm broke as fuck, but hey, I can make do. That's all anyone can ever do, is make do. And you don't have to be rich to be happy, I don't think. I mean, granted, being rich gets you a lot of cool shit. You know what I mean? Like a better car, a fancy car, a better house, or a lot of things that would be considered better by societal standards. But one thing being a Dudist priest has taught me, the one thing Dudism itself has taught me, is you don't need all that to be happy. Happiness comes from within, you know? And I think I found that happiness. At least for now, you know? And it's It's great. It's fantastic. So yeah, this is the Reverend Holden D's Nuts saying abide, my children. Just abide. Why? Because the dude abides. I'm out of my element, I'm sorry. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. You know, I'm looking to get my certificate. My official Dudist priest certificate. And you can call yourself, like, apparently you can call yourself, like, reverend or rabbi or whatever. And I went into Dudism kind of half-jokingly. But it is a good way of thinking. If you read up on Dudism.com, I think it is, or just Google Dudism, there will be the Church of Latter-day Dude. The Dalai Lama himself says that Dudism has been around for a long time. It just goes by different names. Back in the ancient Chinese era, used to go by Taoism. So really, in a sense, Dudism is a form of Taoism, according to the Dalai Lama himself. And I'd personally, as a reverend, I'd like to add another phrase to Dudism, and it's a wonderful phrase. It means no worries for the rest of your days. I mean, it's a problem-free philosophy. You know, it's a kuna matata, I believe. I believe that sums up Dudism at its core. And that is, I don't know, it's a good way of living, I think. I mean, you do have worries and you do have troubles and struggles. Everyone does. If you overcome those struggles, the joy that you feel afterwards is far greater than any material item. And again, it's a trade-off. You trade some of your material things for internal happiness. Like, again, you pay your bills on time. Again, that feeling of joy that you finally got that done overwhelms you. Maybe that's just me and I'm fucking stupid. I don't know. But I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Abide, my dudes, and Hakuna Matata. So, I'm on codecademy.com right now, right? And I'm learning Python, because Python seems like an easy fucking language to start off with, so I'm starting off with that. It looks very... This is actually pretty cool, honestly. They're using fucking Toy Story quotes to teach me escaping characters. Like, the first line they put, hashtag, the string below is broken. Fix it using the escape backslash. Which, the hashtag, as we call it now, it has another name, but I can't remember what the fuck it's called. It's like an octo something. Anyway, that's used so that the program running your code doesn't register that particular line. It's just for comments. Meaning, like, if you want to make a note of something to fix later, you hit you get on a line and then you hit hashtag and then you comment, hey, fix this. This can be any sort of variable, or and it all registers on one line, which is great. And then escaping characters, like they use the quote, "This isn't flying, this is falling with style," and the apostrophe in "isn't" breaks the code, because it thinks the apostrophe is a quotation mark, because it uses single quotation marks in this particular example. And then as the demonstration to be able to fix it, they use, "There's a snake in my boot." So the single quotation marks, "There's a snake in my boot," the apostrophe in "theirs," THERE', that apostrophe breaks the code. So you add a backslash before the apostrophe so that it doesn't break the code. I thought that was kind of cool. It's 3 a.m. and I'm learning. I gotta wake up in 7 hours, which is fine. But I'm learning to code at 3 a.m. It's actually kind of fun. I was thinking about a few things while I was at work. I don't know why I started doing my Jerry Lewis impression, but I did. I said, "Hello, with a nice lady." And I for some reason, thought of Jerry Lewis playing Biff from Back to the Future. It's like, hello, anybody home? Think, McFly. Hello, anybody home with a nice lady going? I just thought that was funny, and then that got me thinking about just something I do just when I'm bored. I substitute Bob Dylan. If I have a song in my head, instead of singing it as that artist, I substitute it with Bob Dylan. Like, and it has to be something that sounds like he would sing, maybe. Otherwise, it won't work. It can't be like gangster rap or any of that shit. Like, not that the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is gangster rap. But in West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground, that's why I spend most of my days chilling out, max and relaxing, all growing up, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got one little fight and my mom gets scared. She said, "Moving with the auntie and uncle in Bel-Air." And what was that one song? It was I was singing it at work when I was in the freezer, because I'm the freezer guy. But I was singing it at work and it sounded funny as hell. I'll probably think of it later. Well, anyway. And then a little later, like right after I got off work, I heard like some customers. I heard a customer's child, which is the name of the pop band that I'm starting up. Customer's Child. Anyway, I heard a customer's child, and Gamma, I want that. And then I started thinking, why do parents fucking speak baby to their children? Like, because then they end up with like a speech impediment for a couple years, maybe. a year or two. Or if they're really unlucky, that impediment will stick. And fucking... So that's why whenever I have a kid, I'm just gonna talk to him like I talk to basically anybody else. So that when he's like 2, and he'll come up to me, he'll stumble up to me and he'll say like, "Father, I wish to inform you that I need to go to the bathroom." And then I'll start talking baby to him. Like, is it number 1 and number 2? "I believe I have to go poo-poo, as you so eloquently put it, Father." I had this coworker who claims she had a speech impediment. Or she would say, "I have a speech inclinement. I have a speech infrastructure." She couldn't say big words. I'm like, "That's not a speech impediment, honey. You're just fucking stupid." Okay, take care now. Bye-bye then. You know what pisses me off? Fucking people who don't know how to use their fucking blinkers. With their stupid fucking cowboy hat on and their fucking Ford Expedition. Their white fucking Ford Expeditions. Cut right the fuck out in front of me without using their fucking blinkers because they're a bunch of fucking douchebags. Jesus fucking Christ. And he's not even going in that lane. He's switching back over to the other fucking lane. Unfucking believable. And he didn't use his fucking blinker there either. Fucking jack off. Use your fucking blinkers for fuck's sake. You see that, motherfucker? That's called a fucking blinker. That's how you fucking turn, you jack off. See what I'm doing right now? He probably doesn't. You know what else pisses me off? When people are on their phones while they're driving. He says, holding his phone in his hand as he's fucking driving. That was called irony. I don't know if some of you didn't get that, but that was sarcasm. Well, not really. I need to throw this shit away first before I order. Fuck off, you son of a bitch. Granted, I'm just as guilty of it as anyone else. Really. I mean, I don't do it as much as some people, but I'm still fucking guilty of it, and I need to fucking stop. But the other day, I was at Sonic, of course, because I'm a fat fuck, and I got a free Route 44 fucking soft drink. I bought my usual shit, and I got a free Route 44 soft drink. And I have the verification code, and we'll see if it works. Shitty ad time. Fucking auto parts. There's this fucking auto parts store or whatever. And fucking the guy says, "Why pay someone else to do something when you can do it yourself?" Because I don't want to fucking do it. I want to fucking chill the fuck out. I don't want to fucking do all the fucking hard work. Are you fucking kidding me? That's not my style, man. Relax, dude. No, fuck you, Walter. What if... Okay, I'm thinking of the guy who played Shaggy in this live-action Scooby-Doo movie, and who does the voice for Shaggy nowadays. Because Casey Kasem's fucking dead, unfortunately. Like Zoink Scoob. Fucking Matthew something. Fucking what license? Utah. Never seen a Utah before. You see all kinds of license plates here in Missouri. Never seen a Utah before. But anyway, fucking Matthew, what's his face? Like Zoink Scoob. Like, what if Shaggy was, and I do this all the time, substitute different actors with different roles in other movie roles? Like, what if Shaggy was the dude? Like, what if I was the dude, man? Like Zoink Scoob. Like, shut the fuck up, Donnie. That was a little too high-pitched for Shaggy. I mean, I don't think his high-pitchedy lingers on that much. Come on, douchebag. Like Zoink Scoob. Like it's the hash slinging slasher. Like the Chinaman pissed on my rug, Walter. I always have to do the laugh, otherwise it doesn't fucking work for me. Like Zoink Scoob. Like it's the hash slinging slasher. Well, no, I don't have to do it. Well, I prefer to do the laugh anyway. It's more aesthetically pleasing. If you see a film and it doesn't meet up to your expectations, what is it called? Lackluster! This is the Ghostbusters review. I have plenty of notes on my phone. Plenty of notes. All right, start from the beginning. All right. Let's see. The PK, first off, the PKE meter, the new PKE meter, looks like a rotating vagina. I mean, the movie itself is visually pleasing. I mean, the equipment looks fantastic, but I just thought that the PKE meter just kind of looked like a rotating vagina. I don't know. But the first joke of the movie was a queef joke. There's a Rottweiler. Hello, buddy. I'm in the park, actually, right now. So I am in my car. I just drove here for no reason. The first, I won't lie. I laughed at the first joke. It got a good. I didn't laugh ha 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 ha. I didn't laugh hysterically. I just it was kind of a is because it was so stupid. So after all these years, Abby, I think your name is, which we'll get to the characters themselves later. Abby goes to no, it's Aaron and Abby, I think. Kristen Wiig's character and Melissa McCarthy, who's good in this movie. She didn't do the whole. She didn't do as much of the stupid fucking slapstick comedy that I hate about her. I mean, I like slapstick comedy, but if your role in almost every movie is fucking, I'm the fat bitch who is fucking clumsy and falls down a lot, that doesn't float well with me. Or flow well, rather. It doesn't sit well with me. But in this movie, she was good. But again, we'll get to the characters later. The queef joke, it was so stupid, but it got a chuckle out of me, I won't lie, because it's so stupid. So Kristen Wiig's character finds out. Okay, let's start off with the intro, actually. The first scene is about this guy explaining about the Aldridge mansion and Gretchen Aldridge, who murdered her maids in her sleep, the eldest daughter of Mr. Eldridge or some shit. It's a really compelling story, when the dramatic parts hit and you're supposed to be intrigued, they work. They really work. And I was intrigued. So Gretchen Aldridge, they do this thing where, ooh, someone's taking a tour or whatever. It's like, oh, legend has it that no one's opened this basement in like 37 years or 78 years or whatever. And then tour's over, and Garrett, the tour guide, he gets scared shitless. Fucking Gretchen scares the shit out of him. And then we cut, and then there's they don't cut to the Fall Out Boy theme, fortunately, which is fucking awful. Good God. The Fall Out Boy theme is fucking atrocious. I honestly wished I was deaf. I honestly wished that I was deaf when the Fall Out Boy theme came on. As the rest of the score was fine. It didn't they wove some of the Ray Parker Jr. original themes in and out of the soundtrack, which is fine. I like that. So then we cut to Erin, I believe her name is, Kristen Wiig's character, which I like. And she is a physicist, I think? She's a scientist. She's very smart. And so she finds out that so the owner of the Aldridge mansion at the time comes to her and says, "Are you Erin whatever?" And she says, "Yeah, that's me." And he starts explaining to her about he says, "I love your books." And she's like, "Oh, well, thank you." And he starts explaining about the fucking, like, the spirit world and and all these ectoplasm and whatever. And she just looks at him like, "Oh fuck, how the fuck does he know about that?" And then he holds up a book that her and Abby wrote as teenagers, I think. There's a fucking cop right behind me. I'm getting a little uneasy. That's how you know you have a problem in fucking with your police force. If there's a cop right behind you and he fucking stops and he's just hanging there, you know something is fucking wrong. Even if you know you didn't really fucking do anything, you know you have a problem with your fucking police state. Alright, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go back home because this is fucking weirding me the fuck out. As soon as I started to roll out, the fucking cop rolled out with me too. It's fucking freaking me out, man. I know I probably shouldn't have anything to fucking worry about, but it's fucking... And I do that with pretty much anybody, though. Not just cops, you know? I do that with everyone. Because I'm fucking paranoid like that. I don't know. Like if there's a guy and he's right behind me, I'll turn and he'll fucking turn too. It's fucking weird and it's unsettling as fuck. Like right now there are two cars like a quarter of a mile behind me right now and they're rolling up towards me. And there's a train right in front of me. And I'm hoping one of them is not a cop car. Or at the very least, the same one that was hanging out earlier. I don't know. Anyway, the fucking... Well, let's get back to the Ghostbusters review, actually. Let's do it while we're actually driving, so that... I don't know if you could hear that. You might have. But let's get back to the Ghostbusters reviews. Okay, so... Erin, Kristen Wiig's character, she goes and confronts Melissa McCarthy's character, Abby. And there we meet Abby and then Kate McKinnon's character, who I can't remember her name at the moment. I'll just call her Kate McKinnon because I don't know. But Kate McKinnon is fucking Holtzman, I think is her name. Holtzman? Or Holtzman? I don't know what I'll call her throughout this review. But Kate McKinnon is fucking awesome in this movie. And I see all the lesbians on like fucking Reddit and Tumblr are swooning over her, which I get. I understand. She looks very tomboyish in this movie, and I like that. And she's very Fonz-esque almost. She's like a tomboy Fonzie. And I like her character. But we meet her and Abby, and Erin says, "Hey, Abby, what the fuck? I told you not to publish this fucking book." And Abby's like, "This book was your baby." And she does that all throughout the movie. "This book was your baby. We wrote this together, and you just abandoned it." And so she introduces them. They get a look at all this fucking nuclear shit, which how they got it past the fucking DEA. No, not the DEA. Fucking, what's the Environmental EPA. How they got it past Walter Peck and the EPA, I'll never fucking know. Which that was kind of a central theme in the original film, but it worked with the original film. But it's still kind of a flaw because you don't know how these guys with like pretty much no money got a hold of a bunch of nuclear fucking material and built basically nuclear reactors out of it, and the federal government is just like, they hardly fucking know. Walter Peck is the only fucking person doing anything about it. And maybe that'll come into play in the second film, if they make one, if there's enough of a profit to make a second film, which it doesn't look that way right now. But, so they have all this nuclear shit, and fucking they go to the Aldridge Mansion, and the PKE meter, it looks like an outline or like a drawing of a vagina, and maybe that was supposed to be the joke. And then it rotates, which I can't remember if the original ones rotated or not. It'd be cool if they did, but I don't think they did. It's been a while since I saw the original film, but the equipment itself looks visually pleasing. but that just bugged me. They said cotton candy maker. It looks like a spinning pussy. It looks like a twirly cunt. It looks like a rotating vagina. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But anyway, so they go inspect the ghost. Then you do the fucking Gretchen puking all over Kristen Wiig's character. That went in every crack. I was like, all right, whatever. Trailer material, it's fine, whatever. That was a stupid joke, really. And a lot of the jokes that were in the film, a lot of them, not all of them, some of them I found pretty funny, like the queef joke at the beginning. Oh, fucking. So she meets up with her, and fucking Kristen Wiig's character meets up with Abby. Aaron meets up with Abby, and then Kate McKinnon's character says, she said a lot of bad things about you. And that was very subtle. And I appreciated that joke. And then they started talking about like fucking EVPs and shit. And well, nothing's been verified, hasn't it? What are you trying to say? What do you think I'm saying? Listen to this. And then it's just like background noise, and then and I that got a chuckle out of me because that was so fucking stupid. And it was juvenile. And sometimes I like juvenile humor. That was one of those times. And that got a chuckle out of me. But then after the chuckle, I was like, all right, I see what I see what kind of movie this is going to be. Okay. So they go to the Audrey Mansion, they try and bust the ghost, and Kristen Wiig gets puked on, and the PKE meter looks like a spinning vagina. Like I said, Kate McKinnon is fucking awesome in this movie, and there's like right from the beginning there's good chemistry between the characters, especially Wiig and McCarthy, because they've known each other a while, and you can tell easily that they're old friends who kind of went their own separate way, and now one of them's bitter and the other's apologetic. So this big ghost event thing happens, and Kristen Wiig ends up losing her tenure because of it, because Abby posted on YouTube. And the college that Melissa McCarthy is working for, who's played by Higgins from The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon's show, who I like Higgins, and he plays a good character in this. I didn't mind him, but there was a point where he said, I got 2 words for you, and I was thinking, suck it. And Kristen Wiig was thinking, get out what? Get out? No, he's gonna say suck it. And he says, suck it. I was like, nice. As a wrestling fan, that was very much appreciated. As a wrestling fan, that was very much appreciated. Good DX reference. But one of the things that most of the humor in this is like either gross out humor, it was predictable, or fucking it was awkward. Which predictable does not always mean unfunny. And they did the thing where like if we present it to the dean in my school, he'll give us like a bunch of money and whatever. And I immediately thought they're gonna get kicked out, and they got kicked out of the college. So I'm like, yeah, it's predictable. Again, if it's not gross out humor, it's predictable or awkward, and I hate the fucking awkward stuff. Like the first scene with Thor. I know he's called Kevin in the movie, but I'm just gonna call him Thor because that was a fucking awesome film. Not so much the second one. Second one was kind of forgettable, even with Chris Eccleston as the villain, which Chris Eccleston's fucking performance in Doctor Who is totally underrated, but I understand why, because fucking David Tennant was fucking awesome. But Chris Eccleston was the villain in that, and he was forgettable. Anyway, back to Thor. Thor was in this film, only without the long hair, and he's dumber. He's dumber and with short hair. So I'm just gonna call him Thor. So, like, the first scene with Thor applying for the fucking Ghostbusters receptionist position, I was like, alright, whatever. Fine. And he covers his eyes when he's trying not to listen. And that's not funny. Honestly, it's not funny at all. I understand he's supposed to be stupid, but don't make him that stupid, you know? And I hope some of Rowan's intelligence may be rubbed off on him so that he's not as stupid if they make a second film. But anyway, so fucking Thor is stupid, and a lot of the jokes fall flat. There are a few moments where I chuckled. And the jokes that made me chuckle, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. And so they go up and meet fucking Leslie Jones' character. And she's like, y'all know this sciencey stuff, but I know New York. Except it's not New York. It's fucking Boston. They shot the film in fucking Boston. I guess they got some kind of discount or whatever. But out of all of, and I heard a couple people echo the point that the city that this place takes place in doesn't feel like New York. And that's because it's not fucking New York. It's fucking Boston. And out of all of the big cities you could film in, including New York, you chose Boston. Seriously. New York, Boston, same thing. No, it's not. I would have millions of people who would disagree with that stance. New York, Boston, same thing. No, it's not. And if you tell a Boston guy that, he will fuck you in your face, and then he will fuck your face up. He will. Jesus fucking Christ. But regardless. And it does, they're right, it doesn't really feel as New Yorkish as some of the other films. But whatever. The plot is generally the plot itself is fine. The action is good. The CGI is visually appealing. But the CGI, while visually appealing, it sucks for this particular film because it's so neon and bright and fucking, and that ties into the whole government cover-up side plot. It goes nowhere. B, it doesn't fucking work. Because with the age of the internet, the government's not going to just outright lie like that. Unless people have evidence, like really confirming evidence, and it's widespread, like it's on the internet, and there are similar incidents that are widespread and they're on the internet, the government's not going to ignore that. Well, they might ignore it, but they won't mention it and lie about how it's not paranormal activity or whatever. They'll just, at the very most, they'll stay silent about it. They won't talk about it. It doesn't work. The government plotline doesn't work in this scenario. And I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to go for the whole original film thing, where the government gets involved and they're nosy and whatever. But that was a central theme to, and that was a central theme to the original film. But it didn't work in this film because they kind of half-assed it. and it doesn't work at all. And it goes nowhere, and I don't fucking care. But there was a good scene where Kristen Wiig's character fucking runs up to the mayor of Boston, or I'm sorry, New York City, and she says, "Mr. Mayor, there's like cataclysmic ghost events," and she's really loud about it, and there's like, and so fucking government people take her away, and she holds onto the table, and she's like, "Get out of the city! Get out of the city! Get your friends and get out! Run away!" And that was really funny. That was one of the few jokes that made me laugh. But, okay. The villain, Rowan. I don't know if it's Rowan or Roland, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to echo a lot. I'm going to echo a lot of other people's points and say that Rowan was kind of a weak villain, but he had potential. He had so much potential to be this maniacal genius, but he wasn't. His motivations were, "But I was bullied in school and throughout the rest of my life." Well, grow a fucking set. Jesus fuck. You never grew a set when you were alive, Rowan. That's why you were bullied throughout your entire existence. That's why, and you saw people kind of push him around, and he is kind of a pushover. Like, he's a fucking janitor. He's a fucking janitor for the, I don't know, some hotel, which fucking Janine from the old film is a receptionist at. And that was a good, all the cameos are good, except for Bill Murray. Bill Murray's cameo was very forgettable. It was very boring. And I don't say that a lot about Bill Murray films, except for maybe Garfield. But no, Bill Murray wasn't. I mean, it was another subplot, I guess, where he's the debunker and fucking, "Oh, these Ghostbusters, this is a publicity stunt," and I'm like, whatever, dude. I don't care. And I really hope that I hope that Bill Murray's character wasn't central to the plot line. Fortunately, they killed him off, but at the same time, I was kind of sad that they did, because it's Bill Murray, and in every cameo he makes, he seems to get killed off, which fucking sucks. But the rest of the cameos are fantastic. Dan Aykroyd as the taxi cab driver, fucking Janine is the receptionist. There we go. That's what we were doing. Janine is the receptionist. I was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Yeah, that's Janine. I like it. That's funny." But Rowan had this potential to be this maniacal villain, this maniacal genius. And he kind of is, but he's kind of a pushover, because, I mean, I know it's to, like, keep the guys around his plans or whatever, but you can tell he never grew a set when he was alive. And more than anything, that makes me kind of pity the character instead of... his motivations are weak, but the character itself had potential, and I kind of liked the character. But again, it's weak, so he's not a good character. "I was bullied back in when I was alive, so now I'm gonna cause the apocalypse. Boo boo beep boo." I'm like, that's weak. That's weak sauce. Hey everyone, Weak Sauce here. No, hey Weak Sauce, Michael here, and today we're gonna learn about busting ghosts. And how the fuck does Slimer drive? He doesn't even have feet. He gets in the fucking Ghostbusters car or whatever. And Abby ended up going down there anyway, so why couldn't she have driven the car into the ghost portal? So Slimer makes his cameo appearance with Mrs. Slimer, which was fucking stupid. So Slimette, I hate Slimette. Slimette's a stupid character. Slimer didn't need a girlfriend. Slimer is just Slimer. He's a solo act. He doesn't need like 50 ghosts on top of the car and in the car as he's fucking driving a thing around. He doesn't need that. He's a solo character. And Slimer's fucking awesome. He looked good, but he's a solo character. But that was stupid. And I'm glad they cut out the whole dance sequence with Rowan. He took control of the police force. They did a little move and everyone's standing still. It was weird, but then they showed that sequence at the end and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad they didn't include this in the movie because that's unnecessary and it's fucking stupid. Again, Kate McKinnon is fucking awesome in this movie. That Kate McKinnon's character is my favorite character. He's like, yeah, oh, I gotta, lick my gun and whatever. Yeah, I'm a fucking awesome. And a couple of the slapstick jokes were funny. Not all of them. But, again, a few of the jokes where, like, I think it was Erin who falls down, Kristen Wiig. I think she falls down and does a face plant or whatever. That was funny. I like slapstick humor, but not Michelle McCarthy level slapstick. But anyway, but the villain in the climax of the film, Rowan, is basically a carbon copy of the fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man who makes an appearance. But even that I thought was kind of dumb. Even the sequence where they're crushed by the balloon of the Stay Puft Man, which the Stay Puft Man itself was cool, but the sequence itself was that was pretty stupid. Okay, he transforms into Rowan, who's the fucking ghost from the logo. That's his name. That's why he's fucking called Rowan. But if he could transform, why the fuck did he need a body? He fucking gets slapped the shit out of Michelle McCarthy, which got another chuckle out of me. He fucking possesses Thor. Thor flies around, does shit. Fucking get out of our friend. Okay. And he's fucking ectoplasm or whatever. And he fucking transforms into some kind of solid matter. He transforms into a more realistic CGI version of the fucking logo, which looked disturbing at human form. And then it fucking grew and grew and grew. But if he could transform himself into solid matter, why the fuck did he need a body? Does it just to fuck with people? I didn't get that. And then the climax was fucking Rowan getting shot in the nuts, which is fucking stupid. Again, a lot of these jokes fall flat. There are a few funny moments, but a lot of these jokes where they just go with the cheap juvenile humor and it falls flat because no one laughs at that unless you're like maybe 14 and a half, and then a week later you wouldn't laugh at it because that's so juvenile, even though you're fucking 14. But that was stupid. So Michelle McCarthy goes down with the ghosts into the portal, and it's closing up, and oh, there's suspense. There's really no suspense. But like I said, if she was going to go down with Rowan, why didn't she drive the nuclear car? Which again, how they got that past the EPA, I don't fucking know. But she ends up in there anyway, so why, instead of the stupid Slimer sequence, why couldn't she have just driven the nuke down there? Well, she probably would have died. That's a good point. Slimer was already dead, so Kind of figured that out right now, just now. But so she does that, and fucking, no, it was Aaron who goes in with a rope and saves her. And when they pull her up, they probably would have both died via whiplash, especially Michelle McCarthy, because you hear the crack, and it's just like, oh yeah, she would have died. She would have died because Erin most likely reached terminal velocity at that point, because she was free falling into nothingness. That's basically what it was. And she probably would have reached terminal velocity by the time she reached Michelle McCarthy's character. And then you hear you grab onto them. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry too. I love you, Thelma. I love you too, Louise. And fucking, there's the fucking whiplash. And all right, they're dead. They're dead. There's no way Michelle McCarthy's fat ass could have survived that. Or Kristen Wiig's. So they pull them up. Everyone saved the day. Yay! And then the government's like, there's a whole fucking government plot line bullshit. It's like, yeah, we're so sorry about this. We appreciate everything you do, but yeah, we're just gonna have to pretend like we hate you. Which doesn't fucking work. That everyone knows what's happening. The government denies it, and it's that whole plot line falls flat. And that's it. And they play the original Ghostbusters theme, which is good. I liked it. And that's basically it. That's basically the movie. And while there were some parts that I liked, most of it kind of stunk. But the after scene where there's who's Zool? I would like to see that. Now, these cast of Ghostbusters themselves, I think, are pretty cool. The cast itself are very talented, but if the script was better, this movie could have been so much better. You know? And maybe if the script was a lot better, we would ignore the fact that the CGI sucked and it wasn't right for this film. Because it didn't. But, you know, it is what it is, and it's kind of cool. The visuals, etc. If you're looking for like a visual experience, this is the movie to see. But if you're looking for story and plot line and all those other things that pretty much don't fucking matter, this movie sucks. Big time. There were a few dramatic points which worked and they intrigued you, but overall, it sucks. Final score, yeah, I'd go out of 5, maybe 1.5 to 2 out of 5. It's a good, fucking movie to play in the background. It's a fun little visual experience, but that's basically it. I'd say 1.5 out of 5 stars. But that's just my review, and that's my opinion, and take it or leave it. So, there you go. So I got off of work at 8 last night. The boss scheduled me to come in at 6 o'clock in the fucking morning. The very next day. I have a personal rule that you have to have at least 12 hours in between fucking shifts. And I have not slept. I have not slept since yesterday. So I figured while I'm up, I might as well go to fucking work. It's 5:30 right now. I might as well go to fucking work. Fuck it. Ugh. I need to get fucking gas, man. Alright, so I just got finished hanging out with my friend Clancy, and she's fucking awesome. She's been a friend since middle school, and we kind of grew up together, but we were never really that close until like junior, senior year, and then we just became like fast friends because I'd always noticed her and thought she was kind of weird, but that's what I liked about her. But we're best. She's like my best friend. So and she's in town for the week, back from St. Louis, where she lives now, as opposed to Kansas City. But it's 11:56 right now. And we just got finished catching Pokemans. Let's see. What was it, like 4 hours? Maybe? Let's see, 12, 8. 7 or 8 o'clock, we spent time at the bar, 64th Tavern here. We spent time at the bar, and she had a few drinks. I don't really drink all that much, but she had a few drinks. Whiskey sour and a Blue Moon, I think, were her choices. After that, we just drove around and then walked around catching Pokemon. And see what I got a shit ton of Pidgeys, Rattatas. I'm leveling up my Raticate now. I evolved it. His name's Splinter. And then I've been catching a lot of Pidgeys with a Dragon Twist, or it's a dragon type attack. I think it's Dragon Twist. I can't remember. But I transferred Assface, my original Pidgey, and I got a higher level Pidgey with the Dragon Twist attack. And hopefully I'll evolve my Pidgey soon. What else did I fucking get? I got a shit ton of Pokemon. Ooh, I hatched one of my eggs. It's now a fucking Cubone. I got a fucking Cubone. Score! So I'm happy about that. And I was going to talk about something else, but fucking, I have a shitty memory. Let's see, what was I going to say earlier? I'm going to get gas. Got finished playing Pokemans. Well, fuck. I can't remember what I was going to say. I got sidetracked by the Pokemans. It's something to do with fucking traffic, I know that. It's fucking goddamn midnight. Got finished catching Pokemans. I use that term ironically, by the way. And see, fuck. I still need to edit the fucking podcast. This podcast that you're listening to right fucking now. Probably gonna end up editing that all night tonight, Thursday. Ugh. Because I want to get it up after work. Should be after work, so I want to do that. Let's put you up here. The phone is currently on top of the gas thing. A moment, please. Okay. Car wash today? No, it's not even fucking open. Well, you could probably do it later, and that'd be alright. Remove nozzle and suck my dick. And I completely forgot to fucking open the gas cap. Because I'm a fucking genius. And my keys were already... Shut up, plane. I hate you. Fucking plane. Go crash into a fucking tower or something. Fuck off. You're interrupting my fucking podcast. Fuck. Jesus. Go do 9/11, you fucking plane. Interrupting my fucking podcast and shit. Well, I live right by the fucking airport, so... Well, I'm close to it. Oh, fuck, I don't know, man. Anyway, I was talking about fucking I need to edit the podcast. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was going to go to the Royals game on Wednesday, but I didn't because I was so fucking tired. And I was tired today. I slept all day yesterday, and I slept all day today until me and Clancy went to the bar and caught Pokemans. But I slept all day yesterday, and I already had my tickets. I had took a Kauffman Stadium. They were overall with parking and shit, they were $30, and I didn't go. Why? Because of the fucking beating the Royals took by the Angels the day before. We won 7-2 last night, but we got our asses handed to... fucking bug. Hello, grasshopper. Go away. Fucking... So we got our asses handed to us. 13-0. Yeah. And I know the Giant. We whipped the Giants' ass. 10-0. What? I think it was 10-1. Back in the World Series a couple years ago. So teams have those kind of days, but it was embarrassing, man. We're the fucking World Series champions. And we got our asses handed to us 13-0. And that put me in a bad mood, so I didn't go. But I think I'm going to end this podcast here. I think I'm going to end this episode here. Not that anyone's fucking listening to the podcast at all. But, yeah, I'm going to end it here. If you like the podcast, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe and all that shit. If you're on Podbean, because I'm trying to upload this to Podbean as well. Finally got my MP3 converter to work on Audacity. It was really simple. And my God, so much space is saved when you use MP3 instead of WAV files. Anyway, if you're on Podbean, subscribe if you like the podcast. Or don't. I don't, whatever. It's whatevs, bruh. But with that being said, this has been Holden D's Nuts. Holden Dorelius Nuts. I will see you guys later on Driving with a Douchebag.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game, and how you play it. All about control, and if you can take it. All about your debt, and if you can pay it. All about the pain, and who's gonna make it. I am the game, and you don't want to play me. I am control. No way you can change me. I am heavy debt. No way you can pay me. I am the pain, and I know you can't take me.